Well, welcome to the shop. Tonight I've already glued in the plywood piece on top of the bell crank. I can explain it to you, but there was no need for you to really see it because it was like 2 minutes worth of work. So tonight I'm going to JB weld one end of this push rod, and I'm going to do the Super-fil fillets inside the airplane. So that locks everything together. So let's get right to work, I suppose. I only got an hour to take care of this stuff. I bought a cutting board from the thrift store for $1.50. I should have bought two of them. They had one that was a little bit smaller. I should have got the other one too. I'm going to start using this as a mixing board for epoxy and Super-fil, and hopefully I can keep it in good shape. I waxed it, put some of that release wax on it. So first thing I'll do is I'll get this one end epoxied up, and then we'll do the fillets. Now, I've been doing these push rods with aluminum tubing, but I just happened to find a piece of carbon that I had. So we'll just do it with carbon on this one. You always mix 10 times more than I need. So what I do for these is I take a dowel and I drill right down the center of it. I bend this wire like so. And I put a hole in the push rod, or in the tube, and you fish that up through there like that, and then you slide the tube in. You just mooey this JB weld all over the place on it. Let me scuff this up on the disc sander real quick. I've never had one of these fail, but there's always a first. I think I need to scuff a little more. Look at the Dremel. Make some cuts in it. I always try to, even though I was watching a free flight thing today, and the guy was talking about indoor free flight, and he had it down to the science. If it's not attached to something, they don't need it. If it doesn't absolutely have to be there, leave it off. Love the smell of JB Weld. Smells like something's getting done. I watched Wendy's B25 video yesterday or whatever. That man is such a good painter. It's unreal. But, a lot of weight. We'll be wiping all this off. Okay. You notice when I pushed that wire up, it shot that epoxy or the JB Weld out the hole. Well, that looks pretty good. And we'll just set that aside to dry or cure or whatever you want to call it. I'll have to wait for it to harden up a little bit. Take your time with that step. Take your time with the step we're going to do next, too. Got to be perfect. You may ask yourself why I don't do both ends at the same time. Because I adjust the push rod length when it's in the airplane to 0. That way you get 0 elevators and flaps. And let it dry. I'm going to try to take care of this, but I know me, there'll be a point where I'll let it dry on there. It's just inevitable. Just the way it goes. But we'll try to get one model airplane out of it anyway. It's only $1.50, but it would be nice to have the mix on for a little while. You know, I went and bought this gallon of lacquer thinner. It's $20 for a gallon of lacquer thinner, and this is the cheap stuff. Just 3 years ago, it was $40 for 5 gallons. Okay, let's do this stuff. It's about time I turn this upside down on the shelf. And if you follow along on this job as I do it, you'll be able to do a good paint job, because I'm going to do an extra good paint job on this one. Extra care. Yeah, I don't know what's in this, but the ball links came from Amazon. If I knew what I was doing, I'd have my Amazon link working so that you could buy them from me or from Amazon, but I'd get a little cut. I'll try to work on that this week. See, all the ammonia went down to the bottom of this. Smells like cat pee. And you see how this stick has just a little blue on it? Do not put that back in that jar. It will ruin it, especially the other way. Don't stick the white, just a little drop of white in the blue will wipe out the whole container. Let me throw this out. I use a cheap 4-cent stick for every time I mix it. Because that Super-fil used to be $20 a quart. Now I think it's about $40 a quart. So it's doubled. Okay, I don't have my spatula, so I'm going to have to use this stick. Okay. I can't tell you how important this part is. It adds so much strength for very little weight. Same with that piece of wood that goes across there. $48, yeah. I think it's cheaper at Wix, but I just know it's been going up and up and up and up. It was 20 some dollars, and now I knew with 35, I think the last time I bought it. I think when I looked again, it was 40 something. Ain't Bidenomics great? Okay, what this does, shit, we're not gonna be able to do that. Not yet. What this does is it, man, Jim Lee, the ball just came off. I'll have to epoxy that back on. Oh well, we won't be using that. Okay. But you got to think about, for what you're getting, it's worth it. I mean, I came from the epoxylite days. This is a whole lot better than epoxylite. Epoxylite was like working with cement, concrete, rock. Can't get it up in there. This process is pretty crude. It doesn't take much skill, but boy, it sure adds a ton of strength. Of course, that's why my airplanes will pull 100 pounds if I have to. Not good out on the lead outs though at the bell crank. Kind of bends them. But you just never know when you might need something like that. It might be a disaster. And I can't read that all the way across there. I'll have to look in a minute. Hey, John. It's adjustable, but there's no need to adjust it. You'll never get it adjustable. I remember something that was orange in a tube. No, it was in two parts. It was in two little containers, hence epoxy. Two-part. And it was rock hard. Super rock hard. If you didn't get it smoothed out, damn near perfect, you had a hell of a time sanding it. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's clean it up. So the push rod is music wire that's threaded on the end. No, it's a tie rod end from an RC car, stainless. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube and was watching these guys, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I could go to the hobby shop with what I know and buy off the shelf a control line airplane. Put one together off the parts they got in the hobby shop, and I bet you I could. So, because they're talking about longevity of stunt, what we need to do is put together a list of parts that the average Joe can go and buy at the hobby shop and be flying. I'm gonna have to wait for it to set up a little bit. Of course, it would have to be electric because that's all they got at the hobby shop. They don't have no gas motors no more. That's all right. And you may be wondering, why am I cleaning it up on the inside? Nobody would ever see it. It's taking off the excess stuff, so it doesn't weigh as much. When you're going to build light, you have to think about every little bit. A grain here, a grain there. Pretty soon you got a gram. You do that 30 or 28 times, you got an ounce. And if you don't do it, it'll build up quick. Okay, that's the top. Let's turn it over and do the other side. See, there's the plywood brace that goes across. It's on the top too, but it's just covered up with a piece of wood because I need to glue something there. So when you do this fillet on the inside, then you put the fuselage together, tissue paper it, and then do the fillet on the outside. That thing is locked to the wing. Cannot come off. I'm gonna have to get out another roll of paper towel, it looks like. But we're on our way. I mean, I'm real close to buttoning this thing up, getting it together. Yonda. Is this overkill? I don't know. It makes me feel better. And I've had yet to have a failure, so. And I've seen plenty of failures. There was a whole bunch that one year at the Nats that the Brazilians came, that the fuselages flew off, and engines flew out, and like the guys didn't use glue anywhere. Yes, I got my dope. But I didn't go. I have not glassed the cowling yet. We'll get to that. You see the Super-fil seeping out the side there? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it was cheap on the shipping. It was only $20, and it was next day. No hazmat. Ask for Eric when you call over there. He'll take care of you. Tell him you're a stun hanger guy and you want your 20% discount off for the holidays, but he'll fix you up on the shipping and hazmat charges. Shit, we're only right across the bridge. It was raining that day. I just didn't feel like going. Of course, to be honest, I don't feel like doing much anymore anyway. Beginning of the year, though, after the 20th, I'm going to look for a job, do something. Oh, yeah, that worked good. Now, if I had a tail wheel in this thing made up, I could put the bottom on it. But I don't. I won't. Remember, get off what you're not using. There's no need to carry it around. Yeah. I don't know why I can't get nothing in there. There we go. Yeah, I have time. I always did. I was working when I was in Dayton. It's only 1 hour a day that I got to do it. See, I was a flat rate mechanic. That means we had a book that told me how long each job should take. And I always try to beat those times so that I could make more money. Well, I've kind of put that same philosophy with model airplanes. That's why I say an hour a day. You can get a lot done in an hour if you don't stand there and look at it, if you just do it. So if you work 1 hour each day, before you know it, you'll have it done. Way ahead of you. Of course, that don't matter. That's would be hidden under the fillet. We'll get it. So in a little bit here, the video will probably be over. When this stuff starts firming up, I'll take back alcohol and wipe all this and get it super smooth. I mean, like I say, your airplane should look just as good on the inside as it does on the outside. Okay, we got towels in here. It only got 3 rolls left. Time to order another 6. Go get another 6. Those Scott towels are the greatest. No, none better. Polishing paint. You can wipe your glasses with them. Usually paper towels scratch your glasses, but these don't. Alrighty. We're good to go again for $1.50. This was a good investment. It feels like, I don't know, nylon or something. It's a cutting board. So let's get a little alcohol. I think it needs to firm up some more. If you don't let it firm up, all you do is drag it around and drag it away and wipe it off. Yeah. Some fairly loose control. A little bit of epoxy. I think I'm going to do these large turnouts that I like up here. So I think there'll be enough Super-fil on that to hide that. If not, I can take a little motor tool or Dremel and grind a notch in that, get that out of there, and then put the Super-fil in. Cut back on that heat. Choking. You guys got any questions on this? I mean, pretty simple stuff. If you do, if you were here building along with me, you could put one together real quick because you just do it. You just do it in the steps that I do it in, and there's nothing to it. I mean, absolutely nothing. Boom, 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 and you're done. Oh, I see a spot that I could have got right there. Wonder if it's still on the. Can we get enough on it? Oh yeah, we got it. We got it on this stick right here. Beautiful. Yeah, there's no big dings other than that one. That was it. And I really didn't even have to do it because when I fiberglass it, it'll cover it up. And I would have to do it after I fiberglass. So better to just add a little filler there. So far, so good. The woodwork's pretty good on this one. I'm taking my time. I think this airplane's going on about 2 months old, and it's basically finished. Just glue the top block on and the bottom block on, and get the push rod done. Make up the tail wheel. Not much. Not much to do. I seem to have lost my canopy. Nope, no, I didn't. I'm debating on which canopy to put on this thing. I found a P-51. I found a World War II canopy and a P-51 canopy. And now it's about sitting back, looking at it, thinking, what do you like the best? I kind of like that canopy. A1 generic. That's basically what we got here. Well, what do you think? That canopy or this one? I could have it there, or I could have it there. Well, that's an 8th scale World War II, and this is a sixth scale P-51 canopy. It's a little big, just a little. I'll probably use that one. I'll probably put it right where it's at. It's hard to see in the video. It looks like I can't hardly see it on TV. Oh yeah, there we go. So we're going to have big turnouts in this and long fairings for the flaps, and big turnouts in the leading edge and long fairings in the trailing edge, or in the elevators, to make it look like it's going fast. I'm gonna have to adjust that before I glue it down. Yeah, actually, no, it's got to go some more. Can we lift it on this side? Oh, yeah. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. We got enough slop in that to get it straight. Yep. I can have the canopy there. Or there. I think it looks better back here. Be sitting on the CG. Yeah, it ain't far now. I mean, it's just a matter of the details. I mean, if I stayed up till midnight tonight, I could probably finish it up. Get it in one piece. But it's my dinner time. I appreciate you guys watching. Yep. Please give me a thumbs up or a like and subscribe. Make sure you share. I'm working with a Sterling Skylark with a 50-year-old canopy. It's yellowed over the years. Anything I can do to get it clear again? No. Okay, go ahead, John. I'll tell you what I would do with that canopy if it was me. Well, John, what is the tie? What is in the tie rod end? Nothing. It's just a shaft. I'll show you. What I would do if it was me on that canopy is I'd go to the hobby shop and buy a can of testers, candy apple blue, candy apple red, candy apple green, tape the outside of it, and paint the inside, just a light dusting inside. Unless that it's in its original vacuum form, if it's still got the fairing, you know, the around the edges on it, it can't be like this if you want to dye it. You could dye it in RIT dye, but you have to have it before you cut it to do that. So if I was going to tint the canopy on this, I would spray paint it with Tester's model car paint, candy apple red, or blue, or whatever. They even have yellow. I mean, make it. One thing that I've learned over the years is if you have a disaster, like the canopy yellow, don't try to hide it. Try to accentuate it. Paint it candy apple yellow. And that way, you know, well, it was done on purpose that way. That's what you tell them. Okay. These are Chergoo aluminum ruck buggy crawler tie rod ends. That's what it says on there. You can just look on Amazon and get them. Then you got to buy a pack of push rod ends or push rods. And they come like this. So each one of those screws on each end of the rod. I need to put these back in there. Now I got a couple of different kind here. I got these red ones. They're a little bigger. A little heavier, and I want the lightest thing I can get. So one of the reasons why I quit using, no, they're 3mm. One of the reasons why I quit using ball links is because they seize up. Those plastic things swell in the humidity, and they'll lock up. And I've seen airplanes almost crash because of it. These ain't gonna lock up. They use these on helicopters and RC cars. So what I do is I take this push rod end, it's threaded. I drill a hole in the dowel, I slide it through the dowel, bend it up on the end. I cut it and bend it up on the end, and that's one end. And then the other end, bend it up, cut on, you know, slide it through the dowel and put the push rod on it. About time to order some more of those too. And of course, they come from Chino, California. Everything's made in China. If I could buy American, I would, but they don't make it. Yes, 3mm. I can't remember the thread pitch, but it's common. 125 or 100, whatever it is. It's the common thread pitch for 3mm. I've got to get some more jam nuts. I'm out of jam nuts. I'd probably order them from Micro Fasteners, cheaper. But be careful on Micro Fasteners. They've cut They've raised the price and cut the quantity in half. You used to get 100 440 screws, 1-inch 440 screws for $7. Now it's $8 for 50. Ridiculous. You know, I heard the other night they're whining that Trump said, well, he might not be able to get the prices to come down. Well, I got a news flash for you guys. The prices will never come down, but your amount of spendable income will go up, so it don't matter. I wouldn't hold it against them that the prices don't come down as long as you got money to buy it. What's the difference? What kind of wire size is it? 3 millimeter, which is roughly 1/8 of an inch. Like my dad used to say, just add a zero. Yeah, that's right. I wish you guys could have talked to my dad. He was a smart dude. I hear people saying wars and rumors of wars and all that stuff. He said back in the 20s, they were talking the same shit. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well. And no, that's not 2020, guys. That's 1920s. He was a depression guy, World War II vet. Alrighty, like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds. It's stainless steel. Tight lines. See ya.